I upgraded from the Pixel 3 XL to the 6 Pro, and judging by the comments on my last Pixel video, so did a lot of you guys. So for anybody still on the fence, holding on to either a Pixel 3 XL or even a Pixel 4, here's 10 reasons why you should upgrade, and one really big reason why you shouldn't. On-device dictation is so insanely fast now. I used to use it all the time on my 3XL because it's so convenient, but it was always still somewhat annoying with how laggy it was. But on the Pixel 6 Pro, it's near instant, and it makes the whole experience so good. This is because it's all processed on device now. That plus you're able to give commands like delete, undo, and send that it can register in context and act accordingly, making it much more seamless, and you can even activate it without even touching your phone. All-day battery. I don't know about you guys, but the 3XL never lasted me a full day. I'm sure I probably made it worse by using wireless charging at night and in my car during the day, but if I couldn't get to a charger during the day, that thing was dead before dinner time. However, on the 6 Pro, you can easily hit bedtime with 20% left, unless you're a big power user, and then you can just whack it on a charger for about half an hour, and you'll be back up to 50% from 0. This is in part due to the more efficient SoC and the bigger battery, but Android 12 can also use adaptive battery that learns how to use your phone and is able to optimize itself to give you a much longer battery life. 5G. While 5G is only really starting to be a thing in most places, it is faster than 4G. And if you find yourself wanting that extra speed, then the Pixel 6 Pro will allow you to get it. Though, to be honest, I'm not actually really fast on it for normal usage and find myself turning it off to get a bit of extra battery life. As well as the fact that it doesn't really have millimeter wave, so you aren't getting the crazy fast speeds anyway. No bathtub notch. Sure, you might not really notice it as much anymore, but it's definitely still there, and it's definitely taking up screen real estate. The 6 Pro hole punch can actually vanish, even while watching videos or using full screen applications. It's tiny in comparison. The Telephoto Camera. It's so much more flattering for portraits, and it makes zooming into something really far away at 10 times much clearer than you could have ever gotten with just the main camera on the 3XL. Check out this comparison of mush versus an actual photo of something. I'm sure Google's Super Res Zoom helps a bit, but there's no substitute for already being 4 times closer. The wide camera. Sure, you can put up with a slightly pixelated image if you really need to zoom in a bit more with only the main camera, but there's almost no way to zoom out and get more into the frame if you're already backed up against a wall or a ledge. In my opinion, a wide-angle lens is the most useful in so many situations. Honestly, it's worth the upgrade solely for this lens. Back when traveling was a thing, I bought a wide-angle moment lens and case specifically for this, but that meant I couldn't fit it in my pocket without taking the lens back off, and then babying it in its own little bag. It was a horrendous experience. But now you don't need that because it's built in and it's better. Sure, it's not the first phone to get one by any means, but if you're a fan of the Pixels, then you no longer have to sacrifice one of the lenses just to get the latest Pixel. Now you can have it all. No more speaker vibration on the back of the phone. It was always a bit of a nitpick, and you'd only really notice it at higher volumes, but it was pretty annoying if you watched a lot of handheld content, so I'm glad it's no longer an issue. The need for speed. This should be a no-brainer, but the Pixel 3X is now over 3 years old, so new software can feel pretty clunky on it. It definitely still works, but it's a less than perfect experience. The under-display fingerprint scanner can either be a blessing or a curse, depending on how you use your phone. If you frequently want to unlock it while it's on the desk, then you can now unlock it where you couldn't do the 3XL. However, it's definitely harder to unlock in the distance between your pocket and your face, like you used to do with the capacitive scanner, because of the position and the speed. On the back, it's just where your finger naturally fell, whereas it'll take a bit of practice to get it fluid on the P6P, but it can be done. The screen on the P6P is miles ahead of the one found on the 3XL. Not only is it much bright enough to easily be seen in direct sunlight, but it also has 120Hz refresh rate compared to the 60Hz of the 3XL. This is a massive jump up and very noticeable whenever you're doom scrolling through either Instagram or Twitter. It's also much better for gaming, not only improving the fluidity of the game, but making you better at it. Probably. All this being said, don't buy the Pixel 6 Pro. At least not right now. The Pixel 7 is only a few months away, and the Pixel 6a is even closer. The value of the 6a seems pretty good if you're definitely after a Pixel but are a less demanding user, but want to keep the cool features like text-to-speech or Google's camera. There's a good chance the 7 Pro will beat the 6 Pro in every category, and as with all their phones, Google will probably give the P6P a pretty heavy discount once the new option comes out, which they've literally just done. You can currently get the Pixel 6 base model for only $500. That's insane value in my opinion, and might actually be the go over the 6A. Do you want a Pixel? Which one do you plan on going with? Or do you think they're a big ol' buggy mess? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for stopping by, and you'll see me in the next one. See ya!